Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of the Selfmatic Podcast. My name is Brian.
I'm Steve-O. And Andrew's busy.
Andrew's
I'm
tweeting.
so sorry.
Andrew's tweeting
I
over here.
was sending out a last minute tweet. I'm Andrew, by the way. Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about passions and obsessions and hobbies and a little bit about, what the difference between these are and how we feel about them, and might help you understand a little bit better what our company is all about. So first things first, I wanted to go into, what we were taught as we were growing up, going through childhood and through high school and stuff like that. It was always, preached, and at least for me, to find a subject, let it be health or whatever, and like attach yourself to it and go with it. Like if
Whether you like it or not, just do it because that's what's instilled into you. That's what they put through your head, just to do it no matter what.
Right. Like you need to decide that you want to be a doctor your sophomore year of high school.
Yeah, that's not even going to happen.
Right.
I mean, some people it does. There are people out there who know growing up, maybe their dad was a doctor, their mom was a doctor, and their grandpa was a doctor, grandma was a doctor. So in their head, like, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. And so they then, they go through that, but that would be a passion because they want to follow in their parents' and family's footsteps.
Right. And that's like the 1% of
Exactly.
kids out there.
Yeah.
The majority of kids, and I know all three of us were the non-1% that had,
Agreed.
I still don't know what I want to do for when I grow up.
Yeah.
I just want to be a Toys R Us kid forever.
That was not a plug.
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up, I always wanted to, play sports. That was always my dream since I was like 2. But then again, that falls in line with my dad played baseball going through high school, and so he got me into baseball, and that was what I wanted to do until I was about 13, and then I found football, and then I wanted to be in the NFL, so...
Look where he's at now.
Hey, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm kidding.
I was going to say, let's not knock him
No,
short.
I wasn't knocking him short. He did good in high school.
He's done very well for himself, absolutely.
All-time interception record. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man.
So what, for you guys growing up, was there any kind of like, a dream or aspiration when you were a child? Like you knew you wanted to be something when you grew up, as you got older? Was there ever that, childhood passion?
I think my childhood passion was skateboarding. And as a lot of my close friends and family know, I hurt myself really bad at skateboarding, and I ended that passion very abruptly. But growing up, as soon as I stepped on a skateboard, I just loved it. I never wanted to be off it. I rode my skateboard everywhere I possibly could, and I still do from time to time. But I can only last on a skateboard for maybe 5 minutes, and I'm winded and hurt, and it's just that passion and dream is way out the door.
Right.
For me, it took me a long time to realize, and I mean until my recent adulthood, to realize and finally put the whole picture together, that ever since even when I was a child, it started with Legos. I've just always had a thing for tinkering on things or working on vehicles or altering anything I could, to make it that much better or that much more appealable. And even to this day, when it comes to our hobbies, I feel like it's an extension of myself that I can, put on an example for others to see and, hey, check this out. Well, okay, that's cool. You might have got the same thing, but look what I did to mine.
Right.
Yeah. So, but as far as, I never had that whole parents pushing me thing. My dad was hardly around and my mom was always gone. I never really had you need to figure it out. I was always kind of just...
Flying by
my own,
seat. Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that's, how some kids are going to end up, unfortunately. Like,
yeah.
But everybody has their own path, and also, as we're talking about this, like all of our passions have, from childhood until where we are now, have changed
multiple times
and drastically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I definitely have to agree with that, and I'm sure it's like that for almost everyone out there. People listening now and whatnot. It's you could be wanting to be an astronaut, and then wanting to be like you said, you're a baseball player to a football player, and then now you're doing construction. Love doing construction, love building stuff. Or it's.
Well, I did.
Oh, that actually is your life story, right?
Yeah. I loved my last job until a few years ago, and then started slowly falling out of love with it, and that's just how it works. And I mean, from what I can tell, and from what I've heard from people that are older and experienced, and all this podcast and stuff that I listen to, they all say the same thing, that your passions are always going to change, and you're not going to be able to just stick to one thing over a long period of time. It's just you got to keep doing what you're good at.
Well, yeah, and along with you just saying that you can only master something. So not even master. I don't know if that's the right term to use, but I can't think of another word to use at this point in time. But to master a passion to where you can't exceed beyond that is when you kind of fall out of love with that passion, and then you start kind of altering from that to trying to find something else that you kind of enjoy doing, and then you turn that. Not saying that it might start off as a hobby. And then you say, like, okay, well, I really like this. And you start getting more into it and, tinkering with whatever it may be. And then it turns into a passion. And then you go in, you're doing it for, 5, 6, 7 years, and you master that one. And it's just a cycle you go through.
Yeah. And, a lot of people get stuck, though. Like they don't figure out the next hobby or passion. It's like... It's a circle. You're always going to keep circling back, and you always got to keep, finding new things to dip yourself into. Like with this, I would have never thought in a million years when I was younger that I would be doing, putting myself out there and just talking and, putting myself on video for the internet to see. And,
well, back then they didn't have internet.
Well, even still, I would have never thought about, wanting to be on TV.
Oh, true, yeah.
Anything like that. And so it's just... it's just doing new things, constantly trying new things, but at the same time, you don't want to jump outside of, what you're good at. You don't want to, say you like painting. So if you like it, you're going to paint, day after day. You're going to keep getting better and better. But if you don't keep coming back to it, you're never going to be Van Gogh. If you don't keep if you don't have that passion to want to keep coming back to it, and even when you're tired, or when you got other stuff to do, you're just like, no, I want to paint. Unless you have that drive towards something, you're never going to be the best. And that's what we really mean, with live in the pursuit of your passion.
And I follow you 100% with that. And I actually just had a thought, and it went right up my brain. You just kept talking. I wanted to cut in a second ago, and you just kept talking and talking and talking. I don't remember what I was going to say at all. What do you have to say about that, Steve?
Well, I was a little distracted by your ran into your brain. If it ran into your brain, it should be exerting your mouth.
Did I say it ran into my brain? See, that just goes to show that, yeah.
So, more or less, our company motto right now is, live in pursuit of your passion. And there's a lot of people out there, I think, that confuse what exactly is a passion, and we kind of just discussed a little bit, what we think it is, or what we feel it is. And I feel like there's too many people out there that think of a passion as a hobby. And they don't know how to differentiate between the two of them.
Actually, I think I kind of remember what I was going to talk about. So that's good that you actually brought that back up. I appreciate that. Got okay. my brain rolling again. With I'll use this as an example of us doing Selfmatic. This is, when we first started off, we talked about in the last episode how, we started this idea back 10 years ago of, doing the whole love and hate thing. Right. I think back then that was just kind of a hobby. It was a cool idea. It was fun, did a little dabbling in it.
Right.
And then now, 10 years later, where we sat for the last year of trying to get this, to where it is now. And just, constantly pushing and, trying to think of different ideas for the company and different, for the clothing and everything, for the shirts and everything, just trying to rack our brains around different designs that, kind of appeal to people to like them and whatnot. We are doing this, like we're working our normal hours at our normal jobs, coming home, and then doing this. Yeah. Losing sleep, spending our money, and it's like, okay, well, I'm trying to budget for this because, I'm willing to put all the money I have into this. And, I think that is along the lines of, willing to do everything for something you love is a passion. Right. If you're not willing to suffer and sacrifice, then it's just a hobby. Plain and simple.
I agree. What you got, Steve-O?
I agree as well. And I'm kind of drawing a blank. I couldn't tell you the truth.
Did I take everything out of your head?
Honestly, you touched base with quite a few things I would have said. Yeah. Without sacrifice, and honestly, when you toss around the word sacrifice for doing something you love, for me, it's not a matter of whether I'm willing to or not. It just comes natural. I want to. The drive is just simply built into me. I don't feel like I have to. Fuck, we got to go do this. Dang, it's just there, plain and simple.
Well, what's cool with you is, I see the drive in you, more and more every day of wanting to learn more of, the different aspects of doing the company. Of wanting to learn how to do this and do that, and you want to, and I can see that drive in you, and you just want to push yourself to know as much as you can and be involved as much as you can, and that's like a really amazing thing to see.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude, I love that shit stuff. I always do that. I love that about that.
2 for 2 on Brian with swing.
Yeah, I love that you are that way though, Steve-O, because. We were talking about the putting some stuff up on the website, and you're like, "Well, teach me, man. Teach me. I want to know how to do it." Like I work with computers all day long, so I understand a lot of things about computers, even though I don't know everything. But you, on the other hand, you work with your hands, so computers don't really come that natural to you. But you're just like right there, willing to just jump into it. Obviously with a little bit of help. But to me, that's like a passion driven aspect. Like you're passionate about learning. Passionate about learning and wanting to soak everything up. And so I see it like you would be, once you learn it, you'd be willing to do a lot of things, and then once you figure out the things that you don't like. That's when
you distribute.
Exactly. Because there's those people out there like accounting. Like there's people that love numbers and love all that stuff. Like me, I don't care for it, but I know it's got to get done, and we got to do it. So, it's when you're starting a business. Fortunately, we have this team of the 4 of us with my little brother doing the design work included, but. We equally, can pick up the slack from one another. Like, maybe I don't like doing something, so, Andrew will pick it up. Or maybe he doesn't even like it, but we'll jump on it together and suffer together.
Yeah. Yes, and that's how it's been, the past few months of trying to get the financial stuff going and doing all the court paperwork and, not court paperwork, the county paperwork, sorry. Yeah. And you messing that up and having to do it again.
I tried to save money by not going through LegalZoom, and I messed it up and spent more money.
It's all learning curve, brother.
And that's the thing. It's like you can sit there and you can look at something and be like, I do not know how to do this. Well, I'll tell you what. everything that we've done so far, I did not know how to do.
There isn't a book. There's no book or instructions.
And that's kind of what we're doing here, is to help you guys.
Yeah.
You get a feel of, the different things you have to do, not necessarily have to do, but are going to have to go through to, to make your passion something that you can do as, I'm not going to say a job, because job is just a job. A passion is something that you love doing, and you can make it profitable, I could say.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Figure out a way to take what it is that you love and you like doing on the side. Maybe it's just a hobby for now, but figure out a way to turn that into, that profit, that income, because there's unlimited means now. The internet is like unstoppable. You can do anything that you want on the internet, and granted, it's not easy. We still haven't figured it out yet. But
we're getting there.
We'll get there, and it's just that drive, that keep learning drive, that you just have to have, or else you're not going to get anywhere.
The simple refusal to quit.
Yeah. I like that saying a lot. I really like that saying a lot, Steve.
So, I forgot where I was going to go after that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It happens. So yeah, I mean, there's unlimited possibilities with the internet. You got YouTube, you got all of your social media, and there's even a software out there that links all of your social media together, and you can post just like one thing with them, and it'll post on everything.
And you have Google.
And Google.
You could Google anything.
Google has come in handy way too many times. For sure. Like, I don't know how many times I've used it to like look up what we have to pay in taxes. Even though we didn't have any income, we still got to pay taxes. And it's like little stuff like that. It comes in really handy. If the best thing, obviously, to do, which we kind of have, is to have like a little bit of a mentor. That's your best case scenario. But if you don't have that, then Google is equally as much a mentor.
I could agree with that.
As long as you know how to search for stuff and you have the patience to read, and...
Which is why I make you Google everything, because I don't have the patience to read it.
Yeah, I don't like reading it. It is what it is.
This goes back into delegating different jobs, and whether we have to do it or not, it has to be done, whether we like it or not. And that's one of the things you have to learn with you're trying to turn your passion into a profitable. I mean, not necessarily profitable, because then you're just trying to think, okay, well, I just want to make money by doing this, and that's not the goal of what we're trying to say. What we're trying to say is we want you to learn how to take what you love doing, and not necessarily make money from it, but to be able to. Well, help me out here, guys.
I mean, at least get it out there and get it to
share your passion with the world,
exactly.
Which is this is what we want to do. Okay. We want you to be able to share it without.
And we want it's not necessarily like that we want, but these stories, of people doing these kinds of things, they're priceless, tools for other people that are trying to do stuff like this. We're not the first ones that are kind of trying to help other people get stuff off the ground.
That's what I was trying to use, was help. We want to help. Sorry.
Yeah, and there's plenty of like podcasts and YouTube channels that I watch and listen to that have helped me in this last year, like exponentially. That I've learned so much stuff just by watching videos, and they're not even, other than the ads, like they're not making money on it. It's all for free. They're out there trying to help, and if you're out there trying to help people, then that's, you can't put a price on just giving.
You can't.
So, and like one of the things that we started also just recently is this Instagram page. It's really nothing but for fun. But our Instagram page, RC Airheads, that, the three of us and our friends, we all like to go out and fly RC planes and drones and stuff like that. And so we just post about it and share it. And, maybe somebody sees something that they like or want to know how to do that we might know, so then we can help them out.
And also show them what not to do, like crash airplanes in the
vice
lakes.
versa. Vice versa. The knowledge goes both ways.
Right. Yeah. So, and those are great. Any kind of video that shows stuff that, like say you want to go buy something. So what's the first thing you do? Go on YouTube and see if there's a video about it.
Start reading reviews. Yeah.
See what's good about it, what's bad about it. If there's any issues with it. Yeah. And that's everyone should be doing that before, and with us, the one thing that I did when, I got my drone for RC Airheads and, for doing all the video and everything like that, was I spent probably 3 or 4 weeks of just researching multiple different drones before knowing which one I wanted to get. And I actually had a lot of help from Steve-O, because he's knowledgeable in, RC stuff, like crazy. And so it's nice having the help of him with his passion and love of doing, anything RC, because I remember you used to do all of the...
It's been a long time since I was a child.
Yeah, it's been RC cars.
It started with the old school, trucks, the stadium trucks, and then it, graduated into boats, and then short course, and now airplanes and drones, and it's all. I mean, I'm still learning new information on a daily, reading reviews on new products and all kinds of stuff. I mean, the amount of info is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was nice having your help. I mean, even like you said, you don't know everything, but you knew enough to help me out.
To give you some guidance,
exactly,
and steer you in the right direction.
Yeah.
At least, yeah, absolutely. And it makes me feel good that I was able to provide you with some of the answers, some of the info, some of the stay away from,
Yeah.
Yeah, the stay away from. Those are
those are big. Yeah, those are big. For sure.
So yeah, if you guys didn't catch that, if you are into RC stuff, the Instagram that we started is at RC_Airheads, and we just post stuff that we do from our fly days and random stuff, make some YouTube videos, and even still, that's just a hobby for us. It might one day turn into something more passionate, but I believe that's where passions begin, is with hobbies.
I couldn't agree any more than that's as true a statement as ever.
I definitely agree, and I think we can all agree that I'm probably the most passionate about as far as the RC stuff goes. I mean, it's been a thing of mine for a very long time, and even when we had the track in the backyard, over at the old house, I mean, I always had to be king.
You had to be the best of the best.
I had to have the newest stuff out. The best tune, the coolest body and paint, and the nicest wheels and the freshest tires, and if I wasn't sitting on top, I was angry.
And then you get some young buck kid with some crappy ass Traxxas truck
that comes in and just schools you, and you feel like an idiot. It's definitely humbling.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all part of the fun, though, and that's what it's all about, is fun. Yeah. For me, anyway. Yeah. Having fun, sharing good times.
And along, with talk about hobbies and passions, and what you just said about sharing, that's one thing I've really loved and learned about, from you, is how to enjoy the hobbies along with the passions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's one thing I'm glad I was able to get from, to learn from you, and to not necessarily differentiate the two of them, but like I said earlier, of this being a passion and a drive I have to make this something bigger than it is, and something, in my head. I have so many dreams and, for what I want Selfmatic to be. And I know if I push myself and that, that drive is still there and that passion is still there, I know we could get to that eventually.
Absolutely.
And, just being around you and, you seeing your drive, it actually pushes me a lot more into wanting to do more with, not more with it, but more for Selfmatic. To make it be what I see that it can be in the future.
Towards the potential.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big ticket item is surround yourself with like-minded people that are, equally passionate about things. It might not be what you're passionate about, but just passionate about stuff. And then 2, like the positive energy. If you have somebody that's negative all the time, then no, that's not going to work. You can't do that. That's not going to get you anywhere. You got to have that little bit of optimism and, the realistic mindset. Yeah, it's good for some things, but, if you really want to get somewhere, you kind of got to just, fly by the seat of your chair and just go with your gut feeling and what you feel is right. Even if in your head you're thinking like, this doesn't seem right, you just kind of got to go with it because the other people around you, if you're doing something that's, the majority of the time, if you're doing something that's amazing and worth it, the other people around you are going to think you're crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to think that you're wasting your time. But as long as it's, something that means something to you.
And you love doing it and it makes you happy. Then smile on your face. And
then you got to pursue it. You gotta see it through. And there's going to be those days that you're like, don't want to do it at all. Like you don't want to you don't want to get on the computer and do your taxes, but it's part of the game, and you got to play it even on your worst days. Those are the days that make you the best.
I agree.
So
absolutely.
Coming up, we're going to be talking to, various people. We're going to try not to make it so much like interview type. I don't want that kind of conversation. Yeah. Obviously, there's going to be questions and stuff like that, but, we're going to try and bring you guys, just regular conversation and, learning about different people. Our goal is to bring you, somebody new every week. That's the goal. Granted, it might not happen, but every week. But the goal is every week, somebody new
with their own different passions. Which we want to you to kind of, if someone out there listening has that, maybe they have that as a hobby, you want to not turn it into a passion, but see it being a passion and something that they want to drive and push themselves to be better at. That's why we are trying to bring these people on to kind of help you guys out. Yeah. With their knowledge, and they can pass it on to you, and you can kind of take from their their trials and errors of what they've been through, their ups and downs, and what they've had to do to make it to where they're at now.
Right, and that's a big part, as far as keeping yourself motivated too. Like hearing other people's stories that, oh hey, they're going through the same thing I've been through. Or, and then they tell you like some success things. It's good to hear the success, but it's equally as good to hear, whatever issues that they've had, because then you can relate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it always makes you feel good, if you can relate to what other people are going through, especially if it's, something that you're passionate about and that you want to see through as a career or whatever it may be. So. We have a couple people lined up. Nothing's set in stone yet, so we're not going to give anything away. But it's definitely going to be more like hobby stuff first. You're not going to see any. We might bring on like somebody that's a teacher, because even still, that's a passion.
Yes, it is.
It might still be more of a career-oriented job. But it's still a passion, Some people grew up wanting to just teach people, and that's what they've been passionate about since they were young. So, you know, there's no...
Yeah, it's not just, you know, crazy oddball stuff that people are, you know, passionate about.
It's like artists and
yeah, that's not all that we're going to be bringing to the table. It's going to be everything.
Yeah, you can be a passionate doctor, you know.
Yeah, you can be a passionate, you know, fireman, you know, paramedic, teacher, like you said. It could be, you know, a dog trainer. You know, someone who's passionate about, you know, helping dogs and training dogs. You know, we're going to try to bring as much as we can to, you know, help people out there that are listening, because they might have the same hobbies or, you know, the same interest in mind, and, you know, we want to help give that knowledge out to other people to help them progress in their hobbies and passions and turn their hobbies into the passions, like you said.
Right. Yep. That's pretty much all I've, you know, had to talk about on this episode. I don't know if you guys had any other things that you wanted to bring up.
I think the only thing we want to mention, you know, is our website that you guys can visit. It's www.weareselfmatic.com. On there we have our podcasts and, you know, just updated news and everything about the company that you can, you know, learn about, and you want to know. If you have any more questions, you can always email us on there. I believe we have a contact page on our website, so you're able to get in touch with us with any questions or anything like that.
Yeah, we also have our Indiegogo campaign. That's also linked to our website. It's also linked to our Instagram in our bio. You can find it there. And our Indiegogo is basically a crowdfunding source for us to help us build our inventory. I did a little tutorial video for it. I posted the full-length one on Facebook. There's a little condensed one on Instagram. But just in case you're not familiar with how the crowdfunding stuff works, you can watch that video and it'll kind of walk you through, you know, how it works and what exactly you're getting for your money. You're not just, you know, throwing your money away. It's actually going, you know, to a cause, and you're actually going to get something out of it through our perk system. So...
It is a good video, especially for people like myself that aren't too computer fond.
Right. Other than the fact that I couldn't get my face unread.
You're really, really red in that video.
It looked good on the computer, and then I put it on the phone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I look like a tomato.
Eating a little too much ginger, right?
And where else can you find us, Steve-O?
We're going to be at Hangar this weekend, the Airfest on Saturday.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that big time.
Yeah, we're going to be, we'll have our cameras out there taking pictures. We're going to try and get a video together for the RC Airheads. So you can look out for that on RC Airheads YouTube.
It ought to be pretty obvious to spot us as well. We're going to be in our...
Yeah, we will be on our Selfmatic gear.
Feel free to bother us with any questions or
chat us up. We might have a couple extra T-shirts hanging around, you know, that might be up for sale. But yeah, just we're friendly people. Come give us a chat and see what we're all about, and we'd be interested to hear about you guys. You know, if you're out there and you know have a story to tell.
I would definitely love to hear it. You know, it's we could always bring that out. You know, into our next podcast is just another trial and tribulation that someone's been through and what they're going through, and just to kind of see if anyone else has maybe info that they could feed into us to the website to kind of help that person out, you know, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be at Hangar Airfest on Saturday. That's at Redlands Airport, and it's sponsored by Hangar 24. And you can find us on Facebook. Just search Selfmatic, and also on Instagram is at Selfmatic. I think that's it, boys.
Yes, it is. You have one?
Alrighty. Have a good one, everybody.
Goodbye.